to Music City Horror.
Okay, welcome to episode 18. I am your host, Eli, with Lane. Damn it, I messed it up. Kayla,
oh my
Lana,
God.
sorry.
You cursed us
I'm
last
fine with
episode.
I know.
You cursed us.
I know. Damn it.
You're never gonna get it right ever again. Once you get it wrong, it breaks.
I feel
You'll
like
just be thinking about it
John
forever.
Cena when he lost to The Rock, and then he had that shit year the following year, and then he
right?
he had to redeem
It just
himself.
takes one little mishap.
Yeah. He was just his
Womp.
mistakes were exposed, and then a year later he redeemed himself and beat The Rock for the belt. So
You're just like that, Eli.
maybe
I feel
my
you
days
are.
coming.
the John Cena of
You
this
are.
podcast.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I think I messed it up faster than I messed it up on the last episode, so that's good. So, anyways,
Kayla, and Lana.
Kayla, Lana.
Just stick with it. It's fine.
Don't try to get
Sorry,
fancy.
Lana.
Yeah, I mean, I think listening to Reba and trying to get fancy, I think that was my downfall. So.
Oh, I love
You're
that
ridiculous.
song.
Well, now that this is off the rails already, and I'm not going to edit it like
It's
last time.
never on the rails, honestly.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't it be if we were riding on the rails properly? No one.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be ourselves.
So we are going to start with new stuff. This is new releases and then also streaming stuff. And so KB's going to get us started.
There is a plethora of things going on right now, guys. So there's no shortage of horror between I almost said in store. Jesus Christ. I might be working too much. In the theaters, where we would all much rather be than in the store, between that and all of these streaming services, July is definitely going to be a heavy month. So we are thankful to the horror gods for blessing us with these things, because there's some good stuff. So my number one, and everybody knows if you've been listening to the podcast since the beginning, July 4th, I finally get The Purge.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I am beside myself with excitement. I hope that it's as good as Election Year, because that is honestly one of my favorite horror movies, probably ever. I would say top 10 at least.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy that series. I think that it's super underrated, but Election Year in particular is one of my favorites. So this needs to live up to that, and I think that this is, what everybody's kind of been wanting and waiting for, is that we finally get that origin movie. Why did The Purge start? How did it start? Because you go into that first movie and you don't see anything that's happening outside, and until the second and third movies you get that kind of your thirst for blood is quenched, and it's incredible. So I hope that this lives up to my expectations, because I have very, very high expectations when it comes to this franchise.
Well, and it's starting to be like, I've seen the trailer for like almost every movie I've seen in the last few weeks. I mean, even like superhero movies. So I think it's starting to pick up steam.
It's definitely everywhere. I will say I do have one complaint. They kind of started off with the more political approach with what's going on with Trump and, Make America Purge Again hat. And then it just kind of fell off. And I don't see them doing that kind of publicity right now, which is kind of sucks. That got me a little bit more excited for the movie.
They started that too early, maybe.
Well, the thing is they didn't keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
They should have stayed true to what they started. They should have kept with the, kind of, shots at what's going on in our world right now. I mean, this is what happens. This is what drives people to come up with these crazy ideas to keep humanity and Americans from tearing each other apart, is they create one night a year where they can do whatever they want. And I feel like the more abysmal the world gets, the closer we are to the fucking purge.
Dude, right?
So,
I know. I saw the trailer for this one and I was like, oh, it feels kind of too close.
Yeah.
Too close, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope they sell those hats, though. I definitely want one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would
That'd be sick.
need it.
buy one.
Yes. I need it.
If not, I'm sure someone's going to make it.
Oh, sure. You can probably buy it on Etsy.
Like, undoubtedly. You know what? Let's just look it up. Let's just utilize the Googles. Make America purge, because I have to say it as I type. I'm gonna let these listeners know that you can whether you can buy it or not. And that was a good no, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I've got Make America Tacos again.
What?
Make America Goth again.
Okay. I'm for all these things.
Oh wow, this is good. Make a American great again.
Oh my gosh.
I saw one. It
There's
was.
a lot
like
of
it.
ones, but I'm not seeing.
I saw one
not
that said
seeing it.
it said make horror R-rated again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I saw that one too. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Although
so-
I'm like, well, I'm a huge fan of The Ring, and that movie's rated PG-13, and I think that there's a place for PG-13 horror.
Oh, totally.
Absolutely.
Just like, I could just like, every time I see it, I'm like, I really want it, but it betrays my values.
I will tell you, if you go on Etsy and type in The Purge, you can get a pretty cool pin that looks like an I voted pin, and it's got blood on it, and it says I purged.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I may be purchasing that. That seems like a solid purchase for me. So I cannot find any Make America Purge Again hats, but I'm sure at some point somebody's going to make them, and I think I'll probably participate for sure.
For sure. Someone get on that. Maybe we have a very artistic listener who happens
it's
to
just
print
an
hats or
embroidered
something.
hat.
Right.
Just make it a
Can't be
dad
too
hat,
hard.
not a flat bill.
Not a
Right.
flat bill.
Not
Dad
a flat
hat.
bill.
We're not in
Not a
seventh
flat
grade.
bill.
We need the regular hats.
Yeah,
Right.
we're adults here, and we need real hats.
You can get these, like, those light up masks though all over it
Yeah.
for like $20.
Yeah, that's badass.
Me and Kayla saw those at the Walker Stalker convention. They were awesome.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah, they
damn.
were pretty
I
rad.
Probably would have bought one of those if I had been there.
Well, you should have been there.
Should have been there,
It was
you know?
so fun.
Tell my managers that. So, don't
Same.
make me feel bad for working too much, because I already feel bad for it.
Don't. You're fine.
Anyways, The Purge, July 4th. A fitting date. I'm glad that they chose to do that. I think the other one was, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Eli, because he's got a huge list of stuff that I could not keep up with. So, Eli, take it away.
Yeah, I was just trying to hit some of the high points for the horror with the streaming. So actually, now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to skip a chunk of it. But Shudder has the one. Well, obviously, a classic that we've talked about. On July 16th, Creep Show 2 will be on Shudder. On the 19th, it is a Shudder exclusive called Ruin Me. I had heard about this one, and I guess I thought it had already been released, and maybe it has been released, and they're just putting it out now on Shudder. I didn't read that much into it, but it's basically I think it's going to be like a found footage type of deal, but it's basically like it's a slasher, but it's like these people go to this camp, and it's like an extreme haunt, basically.
Okay.
So they go to the camp, and then there's like a quote unquote killer, and they jump out scary, blah blah blah. But then like someone is actually really killing the people. So it's like
Oh man.
slasher
Okay,
sleep
so I
out
watched
extreme.
an entire documentary series about extreme haunts. So that should be really interesting. And I need to I'll come back later with that the name of that documentary, but I love documentaries about like haunted houses and stuff like that. So you know what? Once again, let's utilize the Google. Eli, continue. I'll come back with the name of that documentary so
just
people
look it
can
up
watch
on
it.
Goggles, see what happens.
I love the Goggles.
Goggles.
On the 23rd, a favorite of ours, Christmas Horror Story.
Podcast classic. Yeah.
We watched that.
Right.
It was fun.
Our first date.
That's right.
Oh, it was so
Memories.
That's when we were some young pups.
That's right.
Hashtag Throwback Thursday.
Oh my
I think
God.
that was I think that was when we were interviewing Lene Quigley, right?
Yes.
I think
I think so. Yeah.
I think we were at Kayla's apartment.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
I have the name. It's called Haunters.
Yeah.
Art of the Scare.
Is that the one? Is that the one from New Zealand?
That one's
No.
Spookers,
Oh, okay.
which is adorable if no one has seen it, because they have their little cute New Zealand accents, and they're just so sweet, and they're like a little family, and you just fall in love with them. And no one gets murdered for real. So.
This one is about a guy that holds an extreme haunt in his home, and his neighbors hate him. It's borderline hilarious, but it's also really interesting because I find extreme haunts super fascinating because people hate themselves enough to actually like put themselves through that shit.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I don't understand.
I have to interject.
I guess
this guy. So, you guys know where I work, but anyways, my company we do like theatrical fluid and special effects stuff, and
theatrical fluid.
yeah,
I just started laughing.
yeah,
Theatrical fluid.
Theatrical fluid. I don't know, for some reason that's
what it's
made me
called.
laugh.
That's
I love
that's what
it.
it's
I
called.
had a theatrical fluid.
So we sell scents. You can buy like scents to scent your rooms and stuff. Well, this guy did an extreme haunt in the Nashville area, and he bought the gasoline scent and poured it into a gas tank of water, and he flung it on a girl, and you can't tell the difference. And then he flicked the lighter, and I was like, dude, that's like taking it a little far. Like that's
Oh my God.
yeah. So
That's so scary.
like that's some of that stuff can get really so
Yeah, no thanks. I do not enjoy wetting my pants in public, so I think I don't know what.
I prefer to be
That's
home
the
with
real.
it.
That's the true theatrical fluid.
Right?
It's just pissing your pants. Where's Lana? Where's the horn?
I know.
You know what?
you
I
come
almost
through.
downloaded a soundboard, and I was like, no,
I need you to come through with that
I'm gonna let
horn.
Lena do it. And now if she's not gonna do it, I'm gonna feel like a dumbass for not downloading it.
Yeah, I feel really let down because that was the
Where's my
perfect time
outfit?
for a horn.
Well, if she did it right now, then it would feel a little prompted. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll
Right.
show up
Yeah.
later.
It's too
If
late.
it shows up later, then so where we're at? Oh, okay. On July 26th, Todd and the Book of Pure Evil seasons 1 and 2 will be on Shudder, and that's pretty much the highlights. There's a lot of other stuff. There's a French miniseries that's coming out, Treptolon. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It got really good reviews.
French
It's
horror movies. I'm scarred for life.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that here in a little bit because that's technically part of our theme. So yeah, I can't talk about French horror movies.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But you can check out, Shudder. There's tons of other stuff. Netflix on July 1st. Interview with the Vampire. Jurassic Park 1 through 3.
Oh my God. I love Interview with the Vampire.
Same.
Yes.
It's really good.
I can't wait.
It's really good.
Truly a classic.
The Hugh Jackman Van Helsing, which I don't know. I mean, if you're just into dumb monster movies, it's all right. But I don't know.
I'm into watching Hugh Jackman exist. So, but that movie's still garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. Anyways, and Scooby-Doo 1 and 2, which I enjoyed. And then on July 7th, Scream 4 will be there, so they'll have all 4 Screams.
Yay.
July 7th.
I love that one.
And then
marathon.
on the 13th, 20th, and 27th, they have Netflix exclusives. One is called How It Ends, one is called Dark Tourist, and one is called Extinction. I don't know anything about them, but they're kind of in the horror / sci-fi / that genre. Over on Hulu's got a lot of good stuff this month, or in July, I should say. On July 1st, they have American Psycho, Invaders from Mars, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Maximum Overdrive, which I don't know if that's the only movie Stephen King directed, but that was the first movie he directed, from his work, and it's not great.
He tried.
Yeah, man, Monkey Shines, which is George Romero. They are putting back on the Monster Squad, which makes me super happy. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift and Stephen King's Silver Bullet, which you know how much I love Silver Bullet.
Mm-hmm. I have actually never seen that movie, so that'll give me a chance
I
to watch
it yesterday for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Did you just growl at me?
I did. Well, it was more of a grump. It was more of a disappointment grumble,
Right. It's not the full moon yet, Eli. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it together.
This is not your time,
right?
So Lana, you said you just watched it yesterday.
Yes.
How incredible is Gary Busey in that movie?
I loved it. It was awesome.
And that
is it Sam Hain that plays the boy?
Corey Haim?
Corey Haim, sorry. Yes, love him in Lost Boys.
And his sister went on to be Anna Green Gables. I mean, that doesn't. I don't care about that. That was just a fact. But if you've never seen, if you don't know anything about it, that premise is just phenomenal. And I wish, because the novella, I have the novella. It's, I can't remember. I think it starts in November, and it's 12 chapters, and it's like every month the wolf comes back. And I think that would be a phenomenal miniseries, be like 12 episodes, and tell that story with today's special effects and techniques and stuff. So, anyways, we've talked about that one before. We'll go on. July 10th, Zombie Spring Breakers. No clue. Sounds cool.
Wow.
On the 20th.
That's almost as good as Zombievers.
Yeah, Zombievers.
Which is glorious. Yeah.
Yes, I loved it.
Zombievers.
That's a gem.
Girl. It's perfect.
This one's kind of interesting because I think it's going to be on Hulu the same day as it's going to be on Cinemax, but Outcast will be on Hulu, and that's the one I've mentioned before. It's Robert Kirkman. It's his book After Walking Dead. It's about demonic possession, and the first season is incredible. I honestly, I think the first season of Outcast was better than the first season of Walking Dead. I mean,
and that's coming out on what?
That'll be on Hulu on the 20th. That's season 2.
I'm gonna have to. Oh, season 2. What about season 1?
I don't know if season 1's already on there. That's when season 2 will be out.
I'm gonna have to fuck with that.
Yeah, it's really.
Y'all know I love me a good demonic possession.
Yeah,
love me some Satan.
But yeah, evidently that's when the premiere on Cinemax hits too. So I don't know if they worked out a deal for it to drop on the same day or whatever. But also on the 25th is the premiere of Castle Rock, which I can't believe it's already time for that, because we found out about it last summer, and then heading into when it was released, it kind of, they released the trailer and stuff like that. So
it definitely feels like it hasn't been enough time since we talked about it. Like, it feels like it should be way later in the year.
And there's a commercial during the Super Bowl about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like the only one that really mattered to me.
And suddenly it's June.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that one,
so strange.
For people that don't know, I don't know if they're doing a shared universe with Stephen King stuff, or it's a story, but then all of the characters pop up. Like Shawshank is in there, and I think they mention, well, I guess obviously Castle Rock. But anyways, it's like I guess for lack of a better explanation, it's like a shared Stephen King universe. So all
the trailers have been really interesting because they have given away absolutely nothing to me about the show or what it's about or the characters. It's just, I think they've done it really.
We got nothing.
I think they're doing a good job about kind of gauging interest without giving anything away.
Right.
But it also excites me, but also like concerns me a little bit. I'm like, what am I about to watch? I don't even know. But I'll look forward to it. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you should Google the cast they have is just ridiculous. So I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, and there's a couple like non-horror ones that are just fun. Like Bloodsport's going to be on it, and Clue, which our former host Dinah Prince would appreciate that. I don't know if I said Invaders from Mars. Invaders from Mars, that was Tobe Hooper from '86. It was a Canon film. It was garbage, but it was just
now you can see the garbage for yourself.
Yeah,
so it'll be great.
It's just, I mean, I don't know, man. That was just in I think everybody was doing coke, and it was just like, here's $5 million, go do it, and he did it, and it was like, wow, like he really did it. It's this is a pile of shit. But I mean, I don't know. I saw it as a kid, and so I kind of have a soft spot for it. But it's like a throwback to the like the 50s, the Soviets and the Alien, Atomic Age, and all that stuff. So, anyways, over on Amazon, they're actually releasing a lot of the same stuff that Hulu is. American Psycho, Invaders from Mars, Killer Clowns, Maximum Overdrive, and Monkey Shines, which is on Hulu. They're both releasing those on both formats. So I guess that happens periodically. But also, Amazon on July 1st will have Mulholland Drive, which is David Lynch, and there was a poll recently, and it was voted the number one movie since the year 2000. So some people like it, and it's not really.
Wait.
I'm being a little judgy about that.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
So it's not really, traditional horror, I guess, but there's some horror elements. There's definitely, if you've seen it, there's that one kind of jump scene that's pretty memorable.
The best movie.
There's that one thing.
2000.
I didn't come up with the list.
Who voted? Who
I know it's
voted?
like
who voted on this?
Are people just trying to act smart?
I need to see credentials
I don't know.
because I don't even remember a lot about that movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just reports the facts. I don't make the facts,
Man, I'm feeling real judgy about whoever that was.
Same.
Well, this will turn that frown upside down. Pee-wee's Big Adventure will be on Amazon.
Oh, turn that frown upside down.
There's also a movie called Haunting of Molly Hartley that came out in 2008.
That movie is not good.
Yeah, I can't imagine it is. But
garbage.
Zodiac will be on Amazon, which is David Fincher, and it's a phenomenal movie.
One of my favorites.
And then from there, starting July 10th, A Quiet Place will be available to rent on Amazon. I guess it's still Prime, but you rent it. So, yeah, and then in the theaters on Friday the 13th, Hotel Transylvania 3 will be out. I saw the first two. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Yeah, that's one of those. It may have been even one of the first, like it may have been the first episode we recorded, but I've always liked the PG aspect of Halloween as well as the R and the gore and stuff. So I mean, Ernest Scared Stupid and Hocus Pocus. I mean that stuff.
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town. That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
So I mean that stuff is just as important as Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that. So I like this new take on those characters. I think is really well done. So But that's Friday the 13th. On the 20th, Unfriended 2, The Dark Web will be out. I don't know. I didn't watch the first one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time with teenagers at my work, and so when I see a movie like that, I just, as what teenagers would say, I just can't even, because it's really annoying. So I just,
I will say this.
There's a certain amount of that I can handle.
The previews for this one have caught my attention more than the first one. Look, it looks a lot.
I can't say that I have paid attention to either.
No, they might just be better at making trailers nowadays.
Yeah. I definitely think that is a valid assessment.
Well, I think it's kind of a. So basically, this kid finds a laptop at a coffee shop he's working at. He brings it home and he opens it up or whatever, and he gets on like a video chat with like 8 of his friends. Well, then someone from the laptop starts messaging them, and they're like, "Hey, you have my laptop." I'm like, well, what's the deal? And then evidently, like they can see everyone on the video, and they start hunting down the people on the video, and it just looked really creepy. So
I think I saw the first
technology.
Yeah.
If it was anything like that premise, that a girl, I think I saw that.
Yeah. So
it was silly, but I liked it.
I don't know. Anyways, I mean, it'll be in the theaters. So, and then there's another one coming out, and I don't know if this is going like a wide release or if it's just like it'll be out in like LA, and that's quote unquote the release. And then it's going to be on VOD on the 27th, but it's called The Row, and it's about a killer that's killing girls on Sorority Row. So. So
very original.
Yeah.
I was going to say more shit that I probably won't want to watch.
So.
Okay, I need to prick your all's brains about how you feel about the Meg, because I definitely think that's probably I can't decide whether the movie's going to be bad or if they've actually made it campy and it's going to be so campy that it's good.
I have Movie Pass, so I am perfectly willing to waste my time seeing a movie that could be either. So I'm so ready. I'm so ready for this.
Let's just make that a date, because
let's just do
I'm terrified of sharks.
Oh, well, so I think that you'll be okay.
Probably like freak me out a little bit. No, like even seeing sharks kind of like freaks me out. So I never rode the Jaws ride at Universal Studios.
That was a good time.
Even I couldn't do it. So, I refused. So I'll go see it. I also have the Movie Pass. So
yeah, I think that will be. Yeah, I think that will be okay. You
can hold my hand.
Yes, I will. I'm always happy to hold scared people's hands. So we'll be fine. Yes,
true friendship.
I mean, I think it's going to be. I don't think they're really taking themselves too seriously, just because, like, like Jason Statham is, I don't know what he is. He's on that tech base or whatever it is under the ocean. So I mean, like, unless I don't think
believing that Jason Statham has anything to do with like technology.
Well, that's what I'm
amazing.
saying. Like, that's a hard buy. Like. He's an advanced scientist from England. Like that's a hard one to swallow. That's
the only problem that I had with Arrival was believing that Jeremy Renner was some sort of physicist. I was like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but he's Hawkeye.
Yeah,
right. Like maybe if he was just some like military person. Is fine, but like a high level physicist, I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Well, and like on the Meg commercial, he's like, it's the Megalodon, and it's it's so like.
I think that if they don't take themselves seriously, I think it'll be good because that music hits in that trailer, and I'm like, okay, maybe this has a small chance of not being a pile of garbage.
Yeah. I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's gonna be good, like a summer flick, and we should go to the drive-in and watch it.
Ooh, that's a good drive-in movie.
I would do
yeah.
that. I would do that.
Y'all are closer
Yes.
to the drive than me, but I can make the drive. It's no big. I have a vehicle, so I can drive up there.
Congratulations. I'm really happy for you.
Unrelated, my car's paid off now, so woo woo.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
That's very
For being an
adulting.
adult.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know if you guys know this listening, but we are adults.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't act like it.
We're not
Yeah.
teenager babies, but we are adults.
Right.
Yes.
Nothing against teenager babies. We're just not.
I think one more quick thing before we move on to the topic. Can we
we got
talk
some
about
facts first. We're not getting to the topic yet. Hang on.
Well, I'm talking about new. Yeah, I'm talking about new stuff still.
Yeah. Well, let's get it. What are we talking about?
We haven't discussed the Suspiria trailer, and I'm not going to say anything about it because I have not formed a full opinion. But I want to see I'll see how you all feel about it.
Okay, so I had a fully formed opinion, which was, screw this, please, why are you doing this? You're hurting me, please stop. But then I saw the trailer, and even though I hate Dakota Johnson, I was not disappointed. And I think it might be okay, and we'll see. So I am now more open-minded than I was when I first heard they were making it.
I just have faith that Tilda Swinton can save anything.
She is pretty amazing.
So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that that's true and that she'll just save the whole movie.
I'm hoping she offsets at least Dakota Johnson in her terrible wig, and we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't seen this in the trailer, but there was like a photo leaked, and it looked like she has a vagina on her chest.
What?
And it's very possible it has nothing to do with the movie. Maybe it's just like a misdirect, or I don't know. But it was on the web like 2 weeks before the trailer came out. So I was instantly like, "What the fuck is going on?" So
I have to look this up.
dude, I'm not kidding. So
Weird.
I'm
kind of worried to Google it though, so I might.
Yeah. Well, my
be
description
careful
is
with this.
100% accurate. Like once you look at the picture, like, oh, that's okay. There it is. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So, the directors and the producers, they're very adamant about we're doing our own thing, blah blah blah. And I get it. Like the trailer, it doesn't look like Suspiria. Like you're not going to be able to match the colors, and I get that. But it still looks like it was shot in 1975. So,
definitely has a vagina on her chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't. I'm really confused.
Right. I mean,
It's like, how are we supposed to interpret this? I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
What's going on?
At first, I thought it was like a battle scar. Like she was doing it for. I
thought she was like cracking open her chest for a second.
Yeah, well, like she's a dance
in.
warrior, and she sacrificed her body on the dance battlefield or something, But
yeah,
I think it's a vajay. I think she's really like. I think that's what we're dealing with, and so, but like, I don't know, man. Like it just. Like you're just on this campaign to like do this whole. You're doing your own thing, but then it still looks like a dated movie, Like I don't know. So I don't know. There's been,
and then she has a vagina on her chest.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
I mean, that somehow makes me more interested. So I'm very I just want to know the explanation.
I will say the trailer. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it looks.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, very intriguing. Had enough like scary looks from people from across the room. That was like the point of the trailer, was to stare at you suspiciously. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about all of that too, but I don't know. I'm not a diehard Suspiria fan or anything like that. I like it, but I don't know. There's just some things where I don't really get the point of the remake.
Yeah.
Especially if it's so similar. They say they're doing their own thing, but who knows?
Yeah.
Then it's like, what's the point?
Well, I'll definitely tell you there wasn't a vajay in the chest on the first one.
That's a good point. They're adding something to this story here.
They're like, you know what? How's this for original?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have never seen this before.
Great. I've never seen a vagina chest. Like, I don't. I don't get it. So
So that's my response to your question.
Well, I think to round out our new things segment, I think Kayla has something to discuss.
Yeah.
Yes. So I saw Hereditary, as 3/4 of us did. So we're not going to do any spoilers or anything like that. But when we all finally watch it, we'll probably talk about it a lot because there's a lot to talk about. I was very pleased with how it turned out. It was not a movie that I particularly enjoyed the experience of watching because you're not supposed to. I felt really uncomfortable and terrified. And I felt horrible after I watched it. Just like sick. Yeah, like sick. I felt like gross and really uncomfortable the whole time. But it was perfectly executed. Oh my God. I don't think they could have done it better. I was terrified. It was awesome.
I can't stop talking and thinking about that movie.
Me too.
And let me give y'all a quick fun fact, which I did not know. Millie Shapiro, who plays Charlie in the movie, came from Broadway and is like a little Broadway actress with the most amazing voice.
She's so adorable.
And I can't get over that movie. I don't think I'll ever be over that movie. I think that movie is going to be one of the more, I don't want to say underrated because it has done well, but kind of underrated, like horror classics for sure.
I mean, it's I think it's A24's highest grossing film now. It passed the Wit.
Yeah. That's such good hype.
You know, with and it's understandable because it's absolutely just a dream to watch, and I need to go see it again.
Yeah, I feel like seeing it again will really bring a lot of attention to things that I missed before, like the clues that they're putting together. I can't wait to see it from a different perspective from what I had before. I'm really disappointed that it has such an amazing critics rating, but such a bad audience rating. And I don't get it. And I just feel like I feel concerned over like the culture of horror viewing as like, I expect constant jump scares. I expect every second to be like fun and fast paced. And there's no like patience for a payoff like that. Or, well, I'm confused and I just don't like it. Like, it makes me really worried.
Well, there's a lot going on.
If somebody says that they don't like that movie, I ask them what they find scary, and usually it's jump scare movies, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like Final
serial
Destination.
killers, yeah, right. It's like, well, I think that Final Destination's really cool, and it's like, okay, so obviously this isn't going to be scary to you, but I also feel like, I don't know, maybe we're losing out on like getting into someone else's like mental space or like empathizing with a character so closely. Because once you're introduced to the characters, like I am with them, like I feel so hard, like along with them. And that's what is so scary. And so I was very concerned when I saw like the differences between like critic score and audience score. And, you know, critic score is not everything, but I'm glad it made a lot of money and people can hate it and it makes money and they'll keep doing it. And I also get the idea that A24 does not care whether people like it or not.
No.
which makes it even better.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
so now we just need to get Lana on board and she can watch it.
Yes. You're going to love it too, I think. Yeah.
I'm pushing for an entire episode on Hereditary because there's a lot to talk about.
I'm ready to break it down. I'll have my notebook out, full of pages and pages of definitely not crazy person writing about it. I look like like the meme of like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, where he's got all the pictures and the lines connecting. That's how I feel when I'm talking about this movie. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready.
Well, I think it's kind of there's a lot going on right now with when I think of like geekdom or nerdom or whatever. I don't necessarily think of just comic book movies. I mean, it's all stuff that's not mainstream. So horror and Star Wars and wrestling and the comic books, and I mean it's all
For sure.
all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of just terrible, horrible people right now, like in the Star Wars fandom. They've ran people off social media. Who is it that plays 11? Millie Bobby Brown. She just deleted her social stuff because of harassment and stuff. And it's just, kind of going back to what Kayla said. It's almost kind of got to the point where, nerds are running the town now. So they're like, this is what I want. These are my demands. This is what I want. And, so I think, again, this kind of fell into that hype of some of the other movies we've talked about where it's like the scariest movie of all time. And it's, this generation's Exorcist and it's blah, blah, blah. And, so when they go in there and they don't have that, because I think style-wise, I would put this in the same category as like The Exorcist or
For sure.
Rosemary's Baby.
Honestly,
it's definitely more.
Well, and I watched so many interviews at this point with them, and Rosemary's Baby was one of their top inspirations for this movie. So I definitely think that if we're going to have a new generation Rosemary's Baby Exorcist movie, this is 100% it.
Right.
Sure. I also am concerned with that trend in marketing where it's like, this is the next blank. And
I hate it. Why can't it just be its own thing?
I don't get it either. And they could say it's the scariest movie of the year, but they push it so far to make like Eli was saying, put expectations in people's minds. And I think that really does a lot of damage to the movie, and it makes people disappointed for no reason, which is very strange. Yeah. And I also think that people should also just ignore that, like I do, but people don't, and it works, but it just is disappointing.
Yeah. But in case anyone didn't know, Toni Collette's incredible. So
She's
queen of acting.
She is the best.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know there's no justice for horror films with awards and everything like that, but good God, like that woman I would just like shower her with Oscars at this point. Like she was the best actor, the best performance I've seen all year. Male, female, just incredible. Yeah. Like, who can do that? It's incredible.
Yeah, but it was, basically going back to what y'all were saying, just you just kind of had a sense of dread, pretty much the whole time, and pretty much right after. And this isn't really spoilers because it's in the commercial and stuff. But her mom dies, and she's giving the eulogy or whatever. And it kind of seems off just pretty much right from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the fact they don't really care, right from the beginning, is like, oh my God, okay. Yeah. I'm in a different thing now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just, some people were complaining about the ending, and, my thing is by the time it got there, I was so kind of like exhausted. It didn't really matter what the ending was. You know what I mean? So
you're so fucked up by the end.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah,
you're
just really, like, God, just make it stop.
Yeah,
yeah.
But then you get out and you're like, wait, I want to do it again.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster.
Figure it out.
Like it's like a legitimate roller coaster. You hate it while you're on it, and you're like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? And then you are like, okay, let's go back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, I mean, that was the director's very first movie, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Bonkers.
So. I just am blown away by A24's ability to pull people like this guy, is Ari Aster, I think, and then Robert Eggers, who did The Witch. Like, that kind of talent from first-time filmmakers is just out of control. Like how do they find them? Like, the development of that talent is incredible. It's just, I can't wait to see anything they do next. Like, with any time it's a first time person, I'm like, they're going to blow this out of the water. I'm so excited.
Well, that one, they did It Comes at Night last year, and definitely I think Hereditary is a step above that, but same kind of thing. Like everyone's just like scariest movie, blah blah blah, and it really wasn't. It was more of a kind of like a think piece about humanity, really.
Yeah.
But anyways, maybe the next time we talk about this, Lena will be able to hop on board.
I know.
Woo!
Sorry.
No, you are totally fine. I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Well, speaking of Lena, I think we're going to go to her facts next. So we'll do that here shortly. Facts of the week. All right, take it away, Lena.
All right. Happy summer, boils and ghouls. Do you hear what I hear? Oh, that's the sound of a cold beer.
Oh my god.
I love you so much.
I might have been waiting like 30 minutes to do that. So.
You're the best.
That's
honestly.
incredible.
You're just adorable.
Yes. So, tonight is a special edition of my fun facts because it's Lena's fun facts and summer tips.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, it's that time of year where we like to plan our fun outdoor activities, right? Well, maybe you'd like to go camping. But remember to not say the name Madman Mars too loud. I don't think y'all seen Mad Men. I watched it today, actually. It's on Shudder. Super cheesy movie from the 80s. But fun fact about Mad Men, it was originally supposed to be based on the Crop Killer, but they scratched that when they heard another movie called The Burning, which I have not seen, but I'd like to see, was being based on Cropsy. Have you seen that, Eli?
Yeah. Judge. My mind just went blank. Costanza from Seinfeld's on it.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah, definitely want to see that. Another fun fact about Mad Men is that even though it was set in the warmer weather, it was shot in the winter. Which brings me to another fun fact about Friday the 13th, which was shot also in the cooler months. And the water in the lake at the end of the first one was actually 28 degrees. So,
oh, dang.
That kind of
my
sucks.
God. Shoo.
I'm not made for that temperature. But maybe you don't want to go camping, and maybe you decide you want to go to the beach this summer. Well, watch out for prehistoric man-eating piranhas. Yeah, maybe you should watch Piranha 3D.
Oh my god.
I love that movie.
Yes, I know, I do too. It's another cheesy one, but hilarious. The production crew actually estimated that 75,000 gallons of fake blood was used each day, which I believe.
Oh my god. Yes.
I need to watch this movie.
Oh, it's so funny. It's insanely gory, obviously.
It's like a Sharknado.
Yeah, but with piranhas.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So good.
Count me in.
And speaking of Sharknado,
Yeah, go ahead.
you should also watch out for the two-headed shark, Sharktopus, sand sharks, which are all movies, and I've seen them all, and they're all awesome. And to throw a little curveball at you guys, do y'all know who Architeuthis is?
No.
Architeuthis, that was a television movie. I think it was from the late 90s, but he's a giant octopus. And it has haunted me ever since.
Oh my god. That's terrifying.
It was called The Beast. So, if you ever come across that, great movie.
That sounds so scary.
Yes. Last but not least, maybe you want to take a tropical vacation. How about Mexico? I wouldn't recommend going on an archaeological dig at the remote Mayan ruins, though. Who loves the ruins?
Yes.
I love that movie.
Same.
Yes.
That movie is incredible.
So good. Interesting fact, though, that it takes place in Mexico during the summer, it was shot primarily in Australia during the winter, which is pretty crazy. I wouldn't have guessed that. But they used water and olive oil to spray on the actors, make them look like they were sweating. That's crazy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, that is nasty.
Let's grease you up, guys.
But maybe Mexico isn't for you, and maybe you'd rather visit Paris, which this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Don't get lost in the catacombs. As above, so
Another
below.
great one.
Oh, love. that was actually filmed in the catacombs, which is pretty cool. It was the first ever production to get permission from the French government to film down there. So, like, skeletons you see down there are for real, which is crazy.
Wow.
Plus, the claustrophobic part of it really gets me because I'm pretty claustrophobic.
Same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the scenes where the piano and the burning car are down there, they actually dragged them down there to film those, which is
Oh my
insane.
god.
So haunting.
Jeez.
Yes. But follow my tips and have a super scary summer, you guys.
Lana, I gotta
That's
say,
perfect.
you're a real professional.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun.
So cute. That's so fun.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
you're kind of the best.
Oh,
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
now I can drink this beer. Enjoy this beer.
There you go. So Piranha, the original came out in the 70s, and it's not really like Sharknado. Like, Sharknado knows, it knows what it is. Piranha was actually kind of like a Jaws ripoff. So it was trying to be like, like, I don't want to say art, but it was trying to be like a really big production, and I don't know if it accomplished that or not, but anyways, so that's my.
I know.
That's
I'm
my
ashamed to say I don't think I've seen the original, just the
I remember,
crazy 3D one.
yeah, I remember them being on like USA in the 90s and stuff, and like Up All Night and crap. But the new ones, I think they did. Did they do just the Piranha 3D, or did they do Piranha and then Prada 3D? I thought they did two of them. Maybe they just did one.
You might be right. I'm not sure.
I don't
I have
know.
to look. Piranha 3D was from 2010. I can't remember.
I want to say there was one in 2008. I don't know. Anyways, I'm too lazy to Google, so.
You're too lazy to
Goggle.
goggle.
Yeah, I can't be bothered with it. Cool. So we already talked about Hereditary. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump into the subject of tonight's episode. So tonight we're talking about summer horror movies. By the time this airs, summer will have already officially started. We're recording it on the day of summer. Summer starts, I guess. So we just thought it'd be cool to talk about, some summer movies that we like, maybe some that we don't like. But the common theme is just they're all, they all take place during summer months. So does anybody have any favorites that jump out right off the bat? Like when we say summer horror movies, they instantly think about this.
I instantly think of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the
For
least
me-
classy one here.
Well, for me, it being one of my favorite movies of all time, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Oh, so perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, those three, I guess. The cool thing, like Jaws, over the last couple of years, they've been doing the it's a drive-in theater, but you're on a body of water. You're on the the inner tube watching it and stuff, and that's an awesome.
Oh, wow.
That would be like the perfect summer experience, I think.
Oh.
Sitting on an inner tube watching Jaws.
Yeah, drinking a beer, yes, in
drinking
a little
beer
tube.
like Lana.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Road trip.
Being in the water right there. I'd be fine with that.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. It came out. I think it's 97. I think it was.
Oh my god, I feel so old hearing that.
I think that was the year after Scream. I don't think they were the same year.
I think you're right.
And Cabin in the Woods we've discussed. So
Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
those are good ones. I usually gravitate. I mean, I think the big one obviously is Friday the 13th. That's set at a summer camp, and there's been tons of knockoffs or derivatives of that, and Lana just mentioned one. I've already forgot it, but The Burning was one of them on the list because that's also set at a summer camp. And I need to go back and rewatch that because I actually may have watched the edited version. So like I don't even know if I watched all the guts and stuff. So
I do like looking at this list. You can kind of see it breaks down into very specific summer experiences like summer camp or vacation or water. It's kind of funny how, it doesn't take place in really that many other kind of things. People are either like traveling like on a vacation or in a cabin somewhere. It's kind of funny to see it like break it down like that.
Well, I would direct your attention to number 14, Silver Bullet, because that's about a summer werewolf.
Summer werewolf. It would be difficult to be a werewolf in the summer.
I was about to say that's probably real sweaty.
Yeah, that would be challenging. Yeah.
And
but a lot of animals out, I guess, to eat.
Yeah. A lot of critters. Well,
a lot of critters out.
Well, in this movie, he is a wolf man, so it's not a werewolf. And I think we've.
Oh yes, distinction. Yes.
He's not wearing breeches though, but he's more of a wolf man than a werewolf. So, but we've already talked about that one earlier, so I had to put that in. Okay, so I guess everybody's favorite. So then I guess KB is a hard Cabin in the Woods, obviously.
Oh, like hard fan.
Yeah. What about you other two?
This one was hard, but I'm going to go with Tucker and Dale versus Evil, because it's adorable, hilarious, and also has some really fun, gory moments. And it plays off of that really great trope of there are all of these college kids who are going to party in the woods, and they're scared of the rednecks, but the rednecks are just nice guys, and it's just a big misunderstanding. And I just think that premise is adorable, and it just, if you're a horror fan, you just like slide right into it. It's just so funny, and it has so many little moments that horror fans can appreciate, and it's so cute. And as someone who's from East Tennessee, I appreciate the positive portrayal of rednecks in this movie because they're so nice and very kind, and they just want to relax in their summer cabin. I appreciate that.
I love it.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, and we talked about earlier. I think that movie would have been a much bigger hit if it had came out just a couple years later. But I think they just, in the last year or two, I think they turned it into a comic book and kind of like expanded on it a little bit.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But I think it would have been a much bigger hit if it came out maybe post Walking Dead, like when Shudder was out and that kind of stuff. So, but it's a fun one. It's on. I think it's on all the social or the streaming sites right now. So
yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's just so fun. It's a perfect summer movie.
It's a good one. What about you, Miss Lana?
Ooh, it's a tough choice because I do adore Cabin in the Woods. I dressed up as the little ballerina for Halloween once, and that was amazing. I made this super cute mask that I'll hopefully post if I can find a picture later. But I have to say it's a tie between Lost Boys and Evil Dead. I mean, both of those I can turn on any time of the day and have it as like background noise, and just feel so content with either one of those.
I was on a business trip last week in South Carolina, and I pulled out my iPad and pulled up Lost Boys. And, I just sat there in my hotel room and watched Lost Boys.
I love it. That's one of my dad's favorites, so that's why it's one of my favorites, too. But when I was thinking about summer movies, I made a little bit of a list here of parties I wish I was invited to. So I want you guys to chime in if you feel the same.
Yes, got it.
Number 1, Freddy's pool party from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh my god, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, Freddy looks scary as shit in that scene, but it's just, I think it's so awesome because when he pops it out of the ground, whatever, he just like slaps a vase for no reason. And
vase.
Yeah. Makes me laugh so hard. But like, I love that movie.
Okay.
Eli, I think you love it too, don't you?
I don't love it, no. So that scene is awesome. And like when he gets out there, he's just cutting bitches. Like, he doesn't care, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's really the first time that like you really kind of like he's kind of portrayed like really dangerous, because like before it's like, well, I'm not on Elm Street and my parents didn't kill him, I'm safe, you know. But this one, I mean, he's just like, fuck you. So like, but like, it made no sense for him to like come out of the dream world, you know. Like, I always had a big issue with that.
Yeah.
So that always kind of bothered me. But isn't that where he's like, "You're all my children now"? Isn't it like the flames are going on behind his head and stuff?
My children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I love it. So that's the first party I wish I was invited to. Number 2, Leatherface's summer barbecue.
Oof.
I guess. I mean, I do love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so that's another fun one. And we already talked about, I know what you did last summer, the Hookman's 4th of July party. I wish I was there. But also on 4th of July, I'd love to be at Jaws' 4th of July party too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amityville Island, what's up?
Be on the fishing boat on July 4th, you know.
Let me tell y'all where I want to be for the summer. I want to be at that concert in the Lost Boys with the Greasy Ponytail sax band.
Yes.
Eli knows.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eli's Halloween costume.
That's if I had any choice, I would 100% be there.
That is an amazing
I think
party.
that's part of why Lost Boys. I don't. Well, this list is a little misleading because we're not talking about favorite movies. You know what I mean? Like I would rank. I don't know. I might rank, you know, Evil Dead higher than Lost Boys, or, you know, one of the Friday the 13th or Jaws or whatever. But, you know, we're just talking about like favorite movies or summer movies or whatever. So, but Lost Boys, like the whole boardwalk, like that's Billy the big selling point for me, because you've got, you know, there's a video store where Max works at, you know, does the videotapes, and then there's like, I don't know, just the comic book store. Sorry, the Frog Brothers. You know, that used to be a yogurt shop. Now it's a comic book store. Michael gets his ear pierced on the boardwalk by somebody. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on, and then on top of that, you have, you know, the Sexy Sex Man singing "I Still Believe," and
So good.
And then it was funny because like right after that, it's when David picks up Star, and they're about to leave, and Michael's like, "I can't beat your bike," and "How far are you willing to go?" Like all that, and then they take off, and then they're like in the woods, and it's like, where the fuck do these woods come from? You're on the beach, bro. And like I was just thinking about that last week. Like that's a strange change of scenery, just out of nowhere. But yeah, like that whole. That every time they're on the boardwalk, that was the big thing. It also had the amusement park, and even like when they're getting there, when they arrive in the city, and they're I don't know, like they're first getting to the boardwalk, and like Michael's looking for jobs, and you know it shows it in the daytime, and you see like highlights and excuse me, landmarks and different stuff throughout the boardwalk. So that just those images are just kind of like seared into my brain. So
Summertime.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Those are great images to be seared into your brain.
But I mean, we've got a bunch of like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Obviously, that's classic. And that movie it even looks like summer. You know what I mean? Like it looks hot.
I just feel sweaty like watching it.
Oh yeah.
Like you can almost like smell like weird meat, you know, and like feel sweaty. It's so visceral. It's very interesting.
You can smell the theatrical juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yum yum.
100%. Oh my gosh! And
that's what it's called. You're not incorrect, KB. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. That's correct vernacular. Thank you. That's what it's called. I thought Lana was going to mention Blood Beach. That was another kind of a cheesy.
Blood Beach.
I have not seen that, but I want to now.
Yeah.
It's on the list.
I can't remember if that's the one, like... Oh, that may be a newer one. I can't remember. There's one out where, like they're on the beach and, like, the sand is killing them. Like, if you touch the sand, you die. So, like, they're having to, like, jump around.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like Floor is Lava, the movie.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That's pretty much what it is, yeah.
That's not dumb at all, actually. Yeah. Real life.
This wasn't on the list, but it crossed my mind was Club Dread. Club Dread? Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Tremors is a good one. That's a... that one's one of those that, should not have succeeded and should not have been as good as it was, but for whatever reason it was.
It just accident. And that's another one of those too. I was looking at the list and seeing like Hills Have Eyes, Devil's Rejects, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wow, talking is hard. And it just makes you feel like sweaty and gross and like you haven't had water in too many hours.
Yeah.
And I think that feeling for like summer is so, we've all had that experience of feeling like that. And I think watching a movie like that makes us feel like really uncomfortable automatically. And I think that these movies make it work, especially since a lot of them are kind of violent. It just makes it even more like extreme feeling.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's kind of goes towards, I don't know, maybe I guess being a teenager or, being out of school. It's almost kind of like, what am I trying to say? It's almost like your guard's down, like it's summer and it's time to relax. We're going to hit the beach and and so, actually, it kind of reminded Downrange, that movie I just watched not too long ago.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Like you could tell it's hot and they're on a trip somewhere, and it takes 10 or 15 minutes before anything starts happening, and it's almost kind of like, Friday the 13th is a perfect example. They're going to a camp, and the counselors are of course horny and they're trying to screw and they're trying to smoke weed, and it's almost kind of like their safe haven. So then when all this stuff goes wrong, it's, kind of taking their innocence away or whatever. So, so I think that's kind of some of it. We also have Return of the Living Dead, which Linnea Quigley was in. So,
yay!
Adore that movie. So good.
I guess Cujo too. Dee Wallace.
We all know that one was probably hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Michael Berryman in The Hills Have Eyes. We've got the whole crew.
That's right.
Yes. It's brutal.
We can just say Terrifier was done in the summer, and
maybe it was. You never know.
Discuss it.
David. So maybe we need to, David, if you can chime in and let us know if that was set in the summertime.
Yeah.
You can be part of this episode.
I think we were going to mention.
We haven't said Sleepaway Camp yet, which I love.
Oh my gosh.
Felissa Rose.
That movie is crazy. So I like how so much of it is so silly, and it just is very strange. It's such a strange
It is
movie.
strange.
Yeah.
Because really,
Such a strange movie.
no spoilers. The end really threw me for a loop.
Yeah, because it's like,
oh, this is awesome.
it's just like kind of silly and very, you think it's just very typical kind of movie like this, like the kids in summer camp are all dying or whatever. And then the end just like, what?
Right.
It's so crazy.
Like, oh, this is just a Friday the 13th kind of knockoff.
Right.
Yeah.
Just out of left field. It was awesome.
Gotta see it.
It's awesome.
I want to go back and watch part 3 because I don't think I've ever seen it. I remember 2, and I think we may have mentioned this. Part 2, that poster just like every time I went into a video store, like it seemed to be somewhere on the wall, and basically this. I don't know if she's a camp counselor or what, but she's got a backpack on and she's got these really short shorts on and she's kind of like looking back at the camera, and in the bag there's like a Freddy glove and a Jason mask and something else, and it's kind of it always confused me because I was like, so did she kill them? Like, how did she get that stuff? Like, I don't know. So, but it was just an example of like that, the poster. You know, I remember that more than I remember the movie. But the third one was called Sleepaway Camp 3 Teenage Wasteland. So, I mean, if you're going to copy, steal a Who song, I mean, it's got to be pretty decent, I guess. So,
I hope. Well, who knows?
yeah. So,
who knows? I know. In the summer, I like to. Yeah, I was thinking about what kind of movies we like to watch during the summer. What do you all tend to watch during the summer as far as horror goes? Do you watch something that's light and kind of silly, or do you want to like challenge yourself to watch something like really intense? What do you like to watch?
I don't feel like I have a preference. Like I don't really do seasonal horror that much. So
well, you should. You're missing out.
I mean, I'm saying like I don't really like coordinate it with the time of year unless it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I am always in the mood to watch these kind of movies like on the list in the summertime.
Yeah.
Just maybe like a little bit light. I mean, I loved Hereditary, but I don't want to like sit down with like a snack at home, sweating my balls off, and then watch like something super serious, like I just kind of want to watch like Piranha. Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I could watch 5 of those in a summer, 5 Hereditary movies, like. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of depends. Like last week, I just, I got in the mood to watch Lost Boys for the millionth time. So, but I don't know. I like this summer, I'm trying to like, I guess catch up on some of the either the smaller or the indie ones that I've missed. So Hereditary, of course, but I watched Downrange not too long ago. Last night I watched Thoroughbreds, which was more of a dark comedy, I guess. So it was they were comparing it to Heathers, which I guess it's kind of in that vein, like dark comedy kind of deal, but it wasn't really horror. So I think some people would get kind of bummed with it. But I was going to post a review on the new Instagram TV app, and it's basically vertical video. It's not horizontal, so my video doesn't fit on the app. So so I'll have to redo that if I want to do that one. But I'm probably going to watch Revenge over the weekend, and it's a Shudder exclusive. It's going to be on Shudder probably before Halloween, sometime this summer, but it's already on VOD. So, and then watch something else because I think I messaged y'all about it. Low Life, yeah. So Low Life is kind of like a it's influenced by Pulp Fiction. You can tell it's kind of it's non-sequential, so like the stories kind of weave in and out. But it's just a very strange array of characters, and it's more, I guess, violent. It's not really gory or scary. I would, it's not really like horror, but there's some blood and gore in it for sure. So that one was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that one. So this, I don't know, this mood, I'm just trying to catch up on some of the, smaller ones that I've missed or that are coming out. So
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a seasonal person. Like lately, if I'm sitting outside, I turn on Creature from the Black Lagoon, turn it up really loud, and just listen to it from outside. Just because that's fun to me. Or it was Robert Englund's birthday not too long ago, so definitely watched Nightmare on Elm Street as an ode to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jaws, I actually watch on my friend Kevin's birthday every year because it's his tradition to watch on his birthday, which is in May. And he's one of our listeners. So, hey, Kevin. But yeah, which, I don't know, July 4th, I'll usually watch Independence Day just because I have to,
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. Gotta feel proud to be an American at some point.
Exactly. My mom watches that every year, and we're like, "Have you seen this new movie called Independence Day?" Or Jaws, we did that too. It's like, have you heard of this new movie called Jaws? So yeah, definitely, and that kind of helps me decide what to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm kind of in a rut, I'm like, is this a special day or an anniversary of something or whatever?
Yeah, I'll try to do
have to
that.
decide.
Like when I post, like on the Instagram, like it's the 25th anniversary or whatever. That usually, it kind of gets me in the mood. Like, wow, it's I can't believe it's been 30 years since whatever just came out, whatever the anniversary is. Or last week was the 25th anniversary of Jurassic Park or whatever. So
right, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Exactly.
I'll be watching The Purge on July 4th this year for sure.
I will do that too.
Yes, it'll be awesome.
So excited.
Yeah. So cool.
I think we're all getting tired.
I mean, it's getting late. So I guess that wraps this one up then, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, so go out and check out some of our suggestions and have fun with a nice summer movie. It's nice and light.
I hope you wrote down all of those really good tips that Lana gave you, because if not, you may not survive the summer.
That's right.
And I can probably we can post this list too. Let me just throw it up there.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I would love to do that. That's genius, because I think that's like going to be their Bible for the summer.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta be.
Isn't there a song cool for the summer?
Yeah. Demi Lovato.
Demi, yes.
Love some Demi.
This
that was also like a pay-per-view theme song, I think.
Well, this list is cool for the summer, so there's that.
It is. It's
Nice
very
one.
cool. Very
Good
cool.
one.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes. So do y'all have anybody to shout out? I have the one we talked about. Does anybody?
Nope.
Go for it.
I'll shout it out, I think.
Do it.
Cool. So we would like to give a shout out to the Horror Virgin. I don't even know how to get into it. They've been really cool. They came to one of our showings at the Full Moon Cineplex. They all came out and watched Freddy vs. Jason with us when we did the 15th anniversary showing, and we have been chatting with them on various social medias, and we will probably we're probably going to do a crossover episode with them. So we're going to get together and come up with a theme and hash it out and do a crossover show. But their show, and they're also in the Tennessee area. They're in Middle Tennessee as well. I guess their premise is there's two of them that are like really big horror buffs, and then there's one of them that's not. So the two that are showing the one that's not, like classic horror stuff, or getting them into horror. So the first episode I listened to, they had watched The Exorcist together, and showed the horror virgin that, and got him.
Great gimmick.
Yeah, but it's a really,
It really
good idea for a show. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I've listened to their episode on The Exorcist and Hereditary. It was so much fun. They're hilarious. They have a great rapport with each other. It was just so much fun to listen to. So I can't wait to meet them and listen to more of their stuff. They're doing an awesome job. So check them out for
listen
sure.
to that Hereditary episode for sure.
It's so fun. It's great.
But they're on all the places, iTunes, and actually I think that I just saw they just got put on Spotify, which we have been delayed on that. We're not on Spotify yet, but hopefully soon. But Stitcher and whatever Google is now, whatever their thing is. So, but yeah, Horror Virgin podcast, check them out. And I guess that's the only shout out. So I guess we're done.
Awesome. And as always, check us out on our social medias.
Yeah,
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Music City Horror, Indie Popcorn.
Boom.
Do it. Yes.
And also, if you
Everything.
go to musiccityhorror.com, we have a brand new entrance page. It's like an 8-bit video game, so that's cool.
Woo!
It's super cute.
It's so fun. Good job,
Super
Eli.
cute.
It
Super
looks
Yay.
awesome. Yes.
Cool for the summer. Yeah. That's my ringback tone, by the way.
Oh my god, I love it.
Listen,
yeah.
I've got to call out. Not once in this entire episode did we hear the horn.
That's okay.
Did we fail?
I think it'll be fine if it shows up some other time. It's kind of fun when it's a surprise, you
We're
know.
gonna make everyone. There it is. I feel like either the horn or the John Cena theme song is like has to integrate into each episode.
You can't see me.
We're all deliriously tired.
I think the horn's going to be like Brock Lesnar. He's just going to show up when he wants to.
Oh my
I love
God.
it. I can't wait. It's perfect.
Cool. Well, to avoid us falling asleep on the show, we're going to head out. So
Thanks,
we will
guys.
catch
Bye,
everyone
guys.
next time.
Use your sunscreen.
Crack open a beer.
Crack open a beer and don't die.
Yeah.
Cool. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.